And from now on, you never have to worry about that panel again. You can ignore that. Right, next, you'll want to go all your main screens on, RWR on, fuel information on, then HUD, HMCS, and radar is optional at this point, but I usually turn it on anyway. Right, and now you're good to go. So next off, brakes off, and throttle forward just very gently to begin taxiing. Now you'll be using most likely the same binding for your rudder that you will to move left and right on the runway. So for me, I've got it on foot pedals. You might not, but that's fine. You want to keep the throttle very low and be quite gentle with your rudder movements, otherwise you could quite easily tip the plane over. Okay, once you're on the runway, you want to go flaps to stage 1. Get ready on the stick and simply throttle up to full. Now you'll want to tip the stick back slightly. Don't tilt back too far, otherwise you're likely to nose up too much and stall on takeoff. And there you go, as soon as you're off the ground, level out. About 10 degrees is pretty good.
Landing gear.
Landing gear up. And then now that you've been off about 10 seconds or so, you can go flaps back to neutral. And there you go, you're off the ground. Simple. Okay, so the first weapon type we're going to be talking about are air-to-air missiles. Now you've got two main types of air-to-air missiles. You've got your short-range heat-seeking missiles, such as the AIM-9s, and you've got your long-range radar-guided missiles, such as the AIM-120. And first, we're going to be talking about the long-range radar-guided missiles. Now, first thing you want to do is, obviously, master arming switch on. Switch over to your AIM-120s. Now, radar on, switch one of your screens to radar, and you will see, okay, no targets at the moment, so I'll increase range. There we go. Target just off to the right. Looks like about 15 kilometers out. Alright, what you want to do here is set the radar screen to be your sensor of interest using this button. That allows you to navigate the screen using the thumbstick on the joystick. So navigate over to the target, click the stick in, click it again to lock, and there you go, we've got the target ahead. Now you'll see the green square over the target and a dot in front of the target. What we want to do to hit, well, first I want to get a little bit closer, so I'll throttle up. There we go, we're within 15 kilometers now. So you want to get your aiming crosshair over the dot in front of the aircraft, and then fire one. Now let's see if that hits. It's looking good. It's looking good. He's evading. That's a hit. Simple. Nice. Now, next up, you've got your short-range heat-seeking missiles. These are dead simple. Just switch over to AIM-9s. Get some distance from these fellas.
Over T.
Now, for heat-seeking missiles, you don't need to bother locking on using the radar or any of that. You just have to have the target in front of you, inside that little green circle. Now you can probably hear in the background there's a bit of a dull tone there. That's coming from the missile. Once the missile is locked onto a target, that will become a high-pitched tone. There we go, firing. And that's a hit. Let's go again. Firing. Beautiful. Now, the final air-to-air weapon we're going to talk about, whilst there's still one target left here, wherever he went. There he is. The last weapon we're going to talk about is your 20mm Vulcan. Now, this is pretty simple to aim. I'm just going to lock onto that target using the radar, which you don't have to do, but it helps. Now, you can see there's a bit of a lead indicator with the Vulcan there, and all you have to do is place that circle directly over the target. And that's a kill. Easy. Right, that's air-to-air weapons. Okay, so next up we're going to be talking about anti-tank missiles, specifically the AGM-65, which is your classic ATGM. So in order to use these, we are going to be using the targeting computer, so let's power that on. There you go. Now the best way of doing this, there's a few different ways. You can use head tracking, but I prefer to just use sensor of interest here, again, and then use the thumbstick to aim. Now as you can see, as I aim around with the thumbstick, if I am within the range of the HUD, you can actually see it on HUD. So let's zoom in. I know there should be vehicles approaching this bridge. There we go. There's the convoy. Let's move to the first vehicle there. We're going slightly out of range of the targeting computer. There we go. We're locked. Make sure your larger circle is over the target and fire one. Now these are fire and forget, so you can get lost as soon as you fired. Nice. Vehicle destroyed.
Altitude.
Now what fire and forget also means is that you can hit multiple targets simultaneously, so I'll demonstrate that in a moment.
Altitude.
Okay, so we've got 2 targets on camera here. Well, 3. We're going to lock the first one. And
Shoot.
fire. Second one, fire. Third one, fire. Let's see how that does.
Fresh discounts on